what it do, what it is, lads and ladettes. It's your boy Dakota Griswold of Gamers, Nerds, and Geeks United. Welcome back to Yesterday Today. This, of course, is the show where we bring you some of the biggest gaming news you may have missed from yesterday, today. And hope you had a really great weekend. Hope you played plenty of games, or maybe like me, catching up on some of the good TV shows like Van Helsing, Sci-Fi's Van Helsing. It's a really good type of B show. Anyway, I really just like to catch up to TV or whatever, jump around between games, played a little bit of Ghost of Tsushima, played a little bit of Shadow Warrior 2. Definitely finally got my copy of Untitled Goose Game. Can't wait to make mischief in that and have a co-op partner. But this is what I do before I'm waiting for all of these big games to drop in November and next gen, of course, to launch. And this is going to be real crazy. So I'm taking it easy right now. But with all that out the way, let's get into the appetizers. Alright, lads and ladettes, so today I want to start off today with Oculus Quest 2. Now, it came out fairly recently, right? Well, some of the first press that you really get to finally hear is that people aren't happy given the fact that you might get banned if you buy more than one version of this. Yeah, no, I'm not making this up here. People are basically saying that if you use the same account to log into more than one, you're basically going to get banned on both devices. And well, given the fact that they're requiring you to actually log into your Facebook, they're also asking for you to make that they're also asking you to make a profile if you don't have one already. So you automatically have to have a Facebook account. I wonder why they're actually doing that, and this is actually going to cause some issues. And it appears that the issue might be getting widespread, and I definitely see Facebook maybe changing this in the future because it might hurt them financially. But I'm really wondering what is even the purpose of requiring to have a Facebook profile? What if you don't even want one? Well, for some reason over the weekend, The Last of Us Remastered recently received a patch. Yeah, and it's a pretty huge one in a sense of, so I remember when I first booted up The Last of Us on the PS3 and then even again on the PS4, that open and load screen is very long. It's about over a minute long. But then the rest of the game isn't really that long to load, so it initially is booting it up. Well, the patch that came out chopped it down from 1 minute and 30 seconds to 13 seconds, about 70%, as reported on YouTube by El Analista de Bits. Shout out to him. And well, it's crazy. That's a lot of time, and I don't know, maybe that's just them gearing up for the PS5 because, you know, SSD and all of that stuff, and everything is lightning quick. And if it's 13 seconds on the PS4, what is it, about 3 seconds on the PS5? I'm absolutely amazed, and I absolutely love the dedication because this is pretty much my favorite game of all time, so that's always good to hear. Well, it appears that Sony and Microsoft entered a different kind of war over the weekend, and they both found their respective hip-hop artists or hip-hop icon, whatever you will, especially that term for Travis Scott. So for Travis Scott is now the strategic creative partner with Sony, and we're going to have to find out later what that is, but I'm really wondering if these kicks is definitely coming along with the partnership. Are these actually coming out? But then remember that trailer that we actually got a chance to see with Travis Scott in it, and where they just basically showed some respect to the old Maxwell tape recording video where the speakers was blowing them away and stuff like that. And then a couple weeks ago, Travis Scott, he had a DualSense controller and he tweeted it out. Now we know what that was. This was basically a clip from what he was doing. And hey, this is pretty awesome, and I thought this trailer was really good. I can't wait to hear what Travis Scott is actually doing with them in the near future. But then, what did Xbox do? They went and hired an OG. They went and got Snoop Dogg. What did they do with Snoop Dogg? They sent this man an Xbox Series X refrigerator for his birthday to boot, with an Xbox Series X cake, jewelry, and all of that in there, stocked up with the fridge stocked up with some alcohol, of course, and some suggested beverages. This is really interesting. And then Snoopy also tweeted out him wearing the chain and stuff like that. I like what is going on. I like what's going on in the next generation. It's a pretty hilarious kind of war. And hey, this is actually pretty cool for the advertisement, honestly. honestly, I gotta say these are some strange times, because you got the video game industry like really extending their reach into other forms of media or entertainment, what have you, right? So you got Travis Scott and of course the PlayStation sneakers, and then he has this partnership with PlayStation and Snoop with Xbox. But what about sneakers though? Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed, they have a partnership with Reebok. Here we have a couple pairs of shoes here, and they look okay. The color scheme is pretty cool, and it's just weird. You got socks and all of this. It's just, why? And then you know what else makes me ask why? Cyberpunk 2077 now has its own cell phone. It's a theme for the new OnePlus 8T. But unfortunately, of course, if you want it, you're going to have to import it if you live in the US like me, because it's only slated to come out in China. And, well, as bad as I kind of want a new phone, as much as I would like an 8T, because I'm in a chat all day with two high-level techies, friends of mine and my cousin, but it's really, do I want the phone that bad to import it? Because I'm going to spend extra. I don't know. If that's your cup of tea and you want to import it, let me know how it down is in the comments. Alright, lads and laddies, let's get into the real meat and potatoes here. And well, I want to start off talking about Gears 5. Now, me being a huge wrestling fan, in fact, I was even watching the WWE Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, great pay-per-view. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, recognize that. Anyway, so basically, they advertised Dave Bautista, the fact that he's in the game. Now, we knew that he was in the multiplayer, but now there's an update coming, and it launches on the Xbox Series X, where you can play as Dave Bautista replacing Marcus. Of course, it's basically just a skin, but you can play as him the entire game. Voice, likeness, and everything. But then, that was the highlight, I guess, of the update. But then there's so much more coming with this update. And it's just to list it, 2 new difficulty modes, both Iron Man and Inconceivable. Iron Man is basically a one playthrough. If you died, and you got to start from the beginning. And kudos to you if you can get through that. Character skins for Kate, Dell, and JD. Weapon skins, Jack upgrades carry over, new game plus, of course, mutators, big head mode, and of course, new achievements. And then they really go into in-depth in the article here, and I just thought that all of this is just so awesome. And honestly, I gotta say, I'm kind of ashamed to have not played. I played some of Gears 4, I've played a pinch of Gears 5, but it's just, I haven't really been into Gears since basically when Gears 3 ended, and the way it ended, I felt like it was enough for me. And then they let out a prequel and Judgment, and then they were still releasing it. And I played some of 4, it still felt a little too samey for me. Didn't deny the fact that it was a really good game, and Gears is really noteworthy for having a really great story, but I just absolutely love the fact that they just keep updating it. Xbox, whether you like it or not, Xbox is really dedicated to their IP, especially stuff like this, which is also why Halo Infinite got delayed. Now, we're really hoping that the fact that it got delayed and they're using this time to make it like blow our socks off, and I don't want them to have to keep incrementally updating it, but I would like them to release a great product like Gears 5 was, and then keep adding greatness to it. I really hope with them, but just straight up kudos to it. This is just a likeness of how Batista and Marcus just mesh right there. And then you got all of these other stuff, changes to the versus mode and other stuff. And then of course you have those visual upgrades. So I just really think this stuff is very awesome, and I can't wait to play it. I really do believe I might actually jump back into Gears and finish both 4 and 5, because it'll be really interesting to see where the franchise is going, because I know it's not stopping with Gears 5. Gears 5 continues to make good money, and it continues to be well loved by the fans. So I'm expecting Gears 6, 7, and 8, honestly. Take that with a grain of salt, of course. Alright, lads and laddies, and last but not least, you know that last piece of, like, say you having a steak with some mashed potatoes, and it's just a little bit of each left, and you take that last piece of steak, and you rub it in those mashed potatoes, and you mix it together and eat it all together? No, it's just me. Well, that's fine, because I know how to really finish off a really great meal. So, we are going to say that Phil Spencer here, he had an interview with website Stratacherry, very interesting name, and he actually said some super interesting stuff. And I'm just going to read this excerpt on comicbook.com, of course, and he says, I think you're going to see lower priced hardware as part of our ecosystem when you think about streaming sticks and other things that somebody might want to just go plug into their TV and go play via xCloud. hold on now, you could imagine us even having something that we just included in Game Pass subscription that gave you an ability to stream xCloud games to your television and buying a controller. So this is interesting. This is two things here. First of all, I definitely want to think an Xbox streaming stick. It definitely seems very likely, because honestly, if they do that, then it's most likely replacing Google's streaming stick. The Google and I think with the library and the dedication that they're putting on the xCloud is going to be very, very interesting. But if it's a streaming stick, of course, it can literally only be streaming, because how would you be able to hold all that hard drive space? But if you do want to do that, maybe they're talking about adding something to xCloud. What if they did something like a tier system? I definitely heard, this was a very interesting thing that I heard on Kinda Funny, and but it's actually a very, very good point, because we get a lot of great value in Game Pass. For $15 a month, we get online, period, and then we get options of over 100 games a month, and then we have games that take millions and millions and millions to make, Gears of War, Halo, and things like that, and stuff that they just keep updating. They still updating Halo Master Chief Collection. So we get, and Crackdown, which obviously still costs a lot of money, but it costs a lot of money to put these things out there and just give them to us for $15 a month. When an increase happens, and I still say take this with a grain of salt, but I do see this I do foresee this happening. When they increase the pricing of Xbox Game Pass, they will probably do it in a tier system, where you basically just, one tier you get to play a certain amount of games, or you get all the games on Xbox and online. Boom. And then the next tier, you get online, and you get to play Game Pass on PC and Xbox. And then the last one includes streaming. So then that's the membership you get along with the Xbox gaming stick if all of this happens. I think this is a really, really great idea. A lot of people always want to make conversations about the console war, but I just love how in the direction, people are just so different. Sony, they got their IPs and they're sticking to it and they're holding it dear. Nintendo, everything is precious. Nintendo just does their own thing. They got the handheld market locked and key. And Xbox, of course, they're trying to get their service everywhere. So everybody's like, yo, I got an Xbox, and the Xbox is this big. Could you only imagine that it plugs into the side of your TV, and you spend maybe $20 to $25 a month just to get access to over 100 or 200 games, and maybe the bundle with the streaming stick plus whatever that third tier, say it's called Platinum Diamond or something like that. Say you pay for that bundle about $60, $70 straight out the bundle, and it comes with a controller and maybe a month or two included of Game Pass Platinum or whatever. That would be really, really interesting. Alright, lads and laddies, that is it for today. Go ahead and hit the like button if you haven't already. If not, hit the dislike. It's all good. And if you're new here, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and turn those notification bells all the way to all and on, so you know when your boy is posting. Please don't forget to share so everybody can watch this channel grow just like you are. Lads and laddies, this video is finito.